We love our smartphones. They're our alarm clocks, our wallets, our maps to everywhere. We trust these pocket-sized computers with our secrets, our photos, our deepest fears searched at 3 a.m. But here's the catch. While we're busy living our lives, Google's busy tracking it. And not just when we're searching for the best ramen in town. We're talking about constant silent data collection, even when your phone is just chilling in your pocket. This isn't some conspiracy theory. This is according to a groundbreaking study by some very clever folks over at Trinity College Dublin. They found that Google has a bit of a data addiction when it comes to your Android phone. Now, Trinity College Dublin isn't some fly-by-night operation. These are serious academic researchers, the kind who probably use rulers to draw their smiley faces. And what they found is enough to make you put on a tinfoil hat. Though, spoiler alert, it won't stop Google. Their research exposed how Google tracks Android users through pre-installed apps like the Play Store and Play services. You know, those apps you can't delete even if you wanted to. It's like finding out the smoke detector in your house is also recording your conversations, except it's less creepy thriller and more breach of privacy. This tracking starts the second you turn on your phone. No need to even open an app. Google's already 2 steps ahead, silently collecting your data like a digital ninja. They use things like cookies, identifiers, and other technical terms that basically mean ways to track you that you can't see or control. And where does all this data go? Well, it's whisked away to Google's servers, a massive digital fortress where your information is analyzed, categorized, and likely used to target you with ads for that weird thing you searched for last week. Google collects data on everything. The ads you watch, the links you click, even your unique Android ID. It's like a digital fingerprint that sets you apart from the billions of other Android users. And this data collection never sleeps. It happens when you're browsing the web and watching cat videos, even when your phone is sitting idle, gathering dust on your nightstand. Think about that for a second. Your phone, a device that's become an extension of ourselves, is constantly feeding information back to Google, and you have very little say in the matter. Part 5. Can you escape Google's data dragnet? Not really. Now, you might be thinking, John, I'm a tech-savvy individual. I'll just turn off my location services, delete my cookies, and live off the grid. Well, good news. You've just discovered the digital equivalent of hiding behind a bush while wearing a flashing neon sign. Sure, there are ways to minimize the data Google collects. You can reset your advertising ID, disable certain permissions, and become really, really good friends with your phone's privacy settings. But let's be honest, most of us don't have the time or the technical know-how to outmaneuver Google's army of engineers. Besides, even if you manage to disable some tracking, Google has a knack for finding workarounds. It's like playing whack-a-mole with your privacy. Part 6. Google's response, a masterclass in evasiveness. So what does Google have to say about all this? Well, their response can be summed up as, trust us, we're Google. They claim the study's legal analysis is off and that they totally respect your privacy. They use phrases like data minimization and user control, but those words ring a little hollow when you realize they're collecting data, even when you haven't given them explicit permission. It's like a used car salesman telling you, sure, the car's missing a few parts, but we swear it runs great. You might want to get a second opinion, preferably from someone who isn't trying to sell you something. Part 7. This isn't Google's first rodeo of data tracking. This isn't the first time Google's data practices have come under scrutiny. Professor Doug Leith, the mastermind behind the Trinity College study, has been on Google's case for years. He's like the digital equivalent of a dog with a bone, except the bone is our privacy. Back in 2022, Leith's team found that Google apps like Messages and Dialer were sending data about our calls to Google. That's right, even your phone calls aren't safe from Google's insatiable appetite for data. And let's not forget their little device fingerprinting program, a practice they once condemned but have now conveniently embraced again. It's enough to make you wonder, what will they come up with next? Part 8. The need for digital guardians, regulators, step up. This is where things get serious. Google is a powerful company. They have more data than any entity in human history, and they've shown a willingness to use that data to their advantage, even if it means bending the rules a bit, or a lot. That's why we need regulators to step in and protect us from Google's data-hungry algorithms. We need clear, enforceable laws that give users control over their data. We need transparency about what data is being collected and how it's being used. And we need hefty penalties for companies that break the rules. Because right now, it's like the Wild West out there in the digital world, and Google is the sheriff. Part 9, the future of privacy, a call to action. The fight for digital privacy is far from over. It's a battle that will be fought on multiple fronts, in the courts, in the halls of government, and in the court of public opinion. We need to demand better from the tech giants who have become so embedded in our lives. So the next time you pick up your Android phone, remember, you're not just holding a device, you're holding a treasure trove of personal data. And it's time we took back control of that data.